Hey everybody, it's Flat Earth Santa coming back to you with my pickups for January 7th, 2025. Let's get started and see what I've got to add to the PC. First one, I've been going after Detective Comics, but mostly in high grade. Trying to get a good run with at least an 8.0 or an 8.5 or better. So, um, first one is Detective 467. Um, Nothing really crazy about the cover other than I think it's cool. It's Batman fighting Batman, and you know they've said it quite a few times that if they can't figure out something to go on the cover, they just make the hero fight himself. Uh, so if you see that out there, they just couldn't figure something out on the cover. Um, the next one up is Detective 470, and another cool cover. It's the first appearance of Silver St. Cloud. So it's a little bit of a, it's a minor key, but something a little cool. Next, I got Detective 473. So some, and again, just a cool cover. And I've been trying to get them in high grade. Uh, I mean, if I'm gonna collect them, I'd like to get them in a little bit higher grade. So next up, that was the detectives that I got this week. Is Bloodstone #2. Now this is an Elsa Bloodstone um, #2 cover. She was in the Werewolf by Night movie. Uh, why I got it is the girl heroes in the early aughts, like in around when NYX3 was around and whatnot. The print runs on this stuff was very, very low. So they're getting hard to get, especially in high grade. Um, I mean, they're not super scarce, but they're very hard to find and command a little bit of a premium when you do. So especially #1. Next up, we've got Alpha Flight #12, and again, it's in a newsstand. Um, this is a cool comic. It brings me back to my youth. Um, I bought this, not this particular one, but this issue when I was a kid. Um, the comic store owner's like, "Yeah, you might want to pick this up," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, buddy," and I went and I picked it up at the local convenience store rather than at the comic shop. But you know, um, it was the Death of the Guardian. Um, Now again, no spoilers because it's like 30 something years old, so it, earmuffs if you don't want to hear. But he gets better. Um, so it's a newsstand, and it's nothing really. It's not worth a lot, but it's a cool cover that brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. So I had to, and I saw it in a newsstand, and it was pretty high grade that I think I wanted to pick it up. Next up, we've got uh, the most printed comic uh, in history, the X-Men #1, the Magneto variant. But again, it's the newsstand, so it's a little harder to find. Um, so I just thought I'd pick it up. I had it in direct, and I wanted to get it in newsstand as well. So next up, we've got the Flash, and this is the Professor Zoom run. Um, Flash number 323 from Volume 1. So, the first sort of Flash versus Reverse Flash. Then we've got 324, which is the death of Professor Zoom. And then we've got the aftermath in Flash 325. And later on, Flash gets put on trial because of this. So it's really cool. It's was a part in Flash history that I kind of needed. I had a hole in my run, so it was cool finding these in very high grade. So as you know, I'm Canadian, so I pick up a lot of Canadian price variants, and that's what this next one is Spider-Man 243 in a Canadian price variant. Uh, really high grade. CPVs in high grade are sometimes hard to find, so that's really cool. Next up, I've got Wolverine 17. This is a John Byrne cover, and again, newsstand. So this is iconic. This is sort of the Wolverine pouncing iconic pose. Everyone loves it, and amazingly enough, this thing is crazy in high grade, especially in 9.8. I don't know if this one will get it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do the best I can to get it and see if I can get a 9.8 out of it. Um, but it's probably a 9.4, 9.6. That's 9.6 might be as high as it's probably gonna go. But still, cool cover in a newsstand. Hard to find a little bit, um, especially in high grade. Next one up, we've got the Max number 1. And you're like, okay, well, tons of the Max. There's absolutely lots of them. Well, it not only is the Max, but it's also the glow in the dark version. And it is black and it is in super high grade. This one is absolutely going to CGC. This one is tough to find, and I mean it is high grade. I mean you're there probably isn't an issue with it. I mean it's 90 degrees all four corners. The spine is absolutely tick free, lick free, everything free. And I just don't I'm going to have to ask a couple more experienced pressers on what to do with the glow in the dark. So before I send it out, I'm gonna ask somebody that's a little bit more experienced than me. I mean, I'm pretty decent, but you know, there's always going to be somebody better, and I don't know how to do these type of glow in the dark uh, pressing. So I'm gonna ask and get that sent off. Next up, we've got the Tomb Raider 21, the Pittsburgh 2002 convention exclusive. And this thing's hard to find. And I mean hard to find in like really high grade. I mean, you can get them in about 9.92. Um, there's only 7 on the census. So, and it's limited to 2,500 copies. So, it's something I wanted, and thanks again to Blackfish for hooking me up. The next one is Marvel Premiere 47, and everyone knows it as the first Ant-Man, or Scott Lang as Ant-Man, and the first Cassie Lang. This one kind of bumped up because of the movies and then kind of came back down a little bit. I didn't. I had to upgrade my copy. My copy was probably a 6.5, and I wanted to get a much higher grade, and I found it decently priced, so I grabbed it. Next up was a Christmas present from one of the guys here on YouTube. Shout out to Heroes for Hire Comic Club. Matt is a good friend. He's awesome, and this was his Christmas gift to me for this year. This is absolutely awesome. It is Transformers number 8. It's an Alan Quah cover, and it's limited to 500 copies. Um, it's also got a COA on the back, so you can see that it is limited and it's number 90. So it's a lower print run, and I love Soundwave. Soundwave is really cool, one of my favorite Transformers. Um, so thank you again, Matt. That was an awesome gift. And the last two things we got this week were stuff back from CGC. And I I had these in 9.6, but I wanted them in all 9.8s. And uh, especially after the number 3 came back in 9.4, my original one. So I sent the other ones in, the raws that I have, and my number 3 got a 9.8. My number 2 of Earthworm Jim got a 9.8. And my number 1 got a 9.8. So I've got my complete set of 3, all in 9.8s. So that little run is done. Earthworm Jim was a cool Sega Genesis video game. If you didn't know, I loved playing this as a kid. Well, I guess it wasn't a kid. It was more basically in high school and college when it came out. But I guess I'm dating myself there. But it was absolutely awesome. Love this character, Doug TenNapel, that was the creator of Earthworm Jim. Um, and the art was by Sam De La Rosa, and I'll be going to MegaCon here coming up in February, and he'll be there. So I've actually got one more set that I'm gonna try to get signed. Um, Try to get a full set of 1 to 3 signed. Um, and then I'll determine what I do. But I've got my 9.8 set, so I'm ecstatic. So those are the pickups for this week. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you guys got this week in the comments, and everybody keep searching and find those diamonds in the rough. And we'll see you next week. Hey, what are you doing, man? Why are you still sticking around? I mean, if you're gonna be here, hit the like and subscribe. You know you want to do it. Santa tells you to do it. If you don't do it, you're not getting Jello in your stocking next year. The earth is flat, man. Deal with it.